One might assume that the soccer players are mostly friends, but one of them had an affair with another player's wife, while another hit his opponent so hard that he was hospitalized. Today, we brought you the 6 football stars that hate each other. Number 6. Neymar Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. Neymar's relationship with the young French football star broke the balance of Paris Saint-Germain forever. At the beginning, when Neymar and Mbappe, both famous talents, joined Paris Saint-Germain, they immediately became great friends, having fans on the pitch and sharing the passion for video games and girls. However, when Mbappe's ability began to emerge, overshadowing the Brazilian talent, the first problems began. Tensions peaked when Neymar contested his role as the team's penalty taker, claiming he was a better shooter. During one match, Neymar made fun of Mbappe after scoring a penalty, triggering the reaction of the Frenchman in the locker room at the end of the match. At this point in the situation became unsustainable for the French club, forcing them to accept the offer for Neymar made by the Arab club Al Hilal for a sum close to 90 million euros. But our next superstar banged his best friend's wife, and it didn't stop here because he kept on dating her. John Terry and Wayne Bridge. John Terry and Wayne Bridge were great friends and used to be teammates, but they become rivals because of a personal problem. They were both English football players and played together for the national team. The problem started when JT cheated on his wife with a woman named Vanessa Parancel, who was Wayne Bridge's ex-girlfriend. As teammates, this made Wayne Bridge very upset. The two players were no longer able to reconcile, and eventually their friendship got ruined. Bridge couldn't stand him so much that he didn't want to see his face again, ended up leaving the national team because of this, and sacrificed his football career. Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Marco Materazzi. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the baddest player to exist when it comes to having rivalries. Once he had a big problem with a player, he ended up hurting that player so badly that he was hospitalized for months. The rivalry started when Zlatan played for Juventus and the other player, Marco Materazzi, was from Inter. During a match between the two teams, Marco, known by all football communities as a hard player defender, tried to hurt him with a brutal tackle, almost hurting Zlatan's knee badly. But you know football often gives you the chance to get revenge. After a few years, in fact, when Zlatan played for Milan during a derby, Zlatan had his chance. First, he scored easily a penalty in front of Marco's face, then with his feet and his elbow hit the chest of the poor Italian player badly, like it was in UFC fighting. Marco had to go directly to the hospital. Zlatan, during the interview post-match, joked that he made a taekwondo move on him and said he waited 4 years for this moment. But if you think this is horrible, you can't believe how a player laid his hand on his teammate's wife. Number 3. Kevin De Bruyne and Thibaut Courtois. Kevin De Bruyne can no longer be in the same room as his former friend and soccer teammate because of what he did to his wife. We're talking about the dirty triangle that took place between De Bruyne, Thibaut Courtois, and Caroline. The two top players were close friends and played together for several years, first at Genk and then for the Belgian national team. From the outside, people saw them as friends, but the reality was quite different. De Bruyne's wife was visiting the Madrid City club where the extraordinary goalkeeper Courtois plays. After meeting, the two started seeing each other and texting each other every day, ending up cheating on Manchester City playmaker Kevin De Bruyne. She also tried to blame De Bruyne for having betrayed her in turn, news which, however, was denied. This hurt De Bruyne greatly, and the two ended up divorcing. We all know that revenge is a dish best served cold, and so De Bruyne did during the 2022-23 Champions League semi-final between Real Madrid and Manchester City. In fact, not only did Kevin play one of his best matches, but he also scored the equalizer goal against Courtois, who betrayed him a few years earlier. Speaking about revenge, do you know that one of the Premier League's most prolific strikers has been waiting years to get revenge on his father? 2. Erling Haaland and Roy Keane. Erling Haaland dislikes a famous and iconic football player because he hurt his father so badly that he had to retire. Haaland's father used to play for Manchester City, and Haaland really enjoyed watching him. But during a match against Manchester United, a player named Roy Keane, in revenge for an old tackle, injured Haaland's father, who had to leave football due to a bad knee injury. But the story is not over. Later, Haaland Jr. joined Manchester City, carrying on his father's hatred for Roy Keane and Manchester United. He never hid his hatred and anger towards Manchester United, so in his first match against the Red Devils, Haaland scored 3 goals and finished the match with his personal hat-trick. The same year, he also won the Premier League, Champions League, and Cup title. which must have been quite a slap in the face for the Manchester United fans. All of these incidents have occurred between players, but could you imagine a manager benching a football legend because of his jealousy? Number 1. Cristiano Ronaldo and Erik Ten Hag. The first tensions between the two started when the new Manchester United manager criticized Ronaldo's style of play and tactics, questioning his commitment and sacrifice towards the team, and ended up to bench him in the most important matches of the season. Ronaldo felt disrespected and said bad things about Ten Hag in public. The thing was that Ten Hag was afraid that the Portuguese salary at that time could lead to several problems inside the locker room. At some point, he also tried without success to create a Ronaldo rule, where players had to have a salary cap. Eventually, Manchester United was forced to end Ronaldo's contract early, which made him lose $17 million. Even though he lost money, Ronaldo probably got it back quickly. His departure marked the end of an era for Manchester United club and probably for all European football, which saw one of its brightest ever stars leaving the most important football stage for good. These football rivalries demonstrate how personal conflicts and competitive dynamics can shape the intensity of on-field clashes. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Please share it with your friends, and remember to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss anything.